So in this video, we're going over 3 different homework problems, and they're all similar. They're all asking you to look at an equation and say some things about the transformations that are happening in it. But if you take a closer look at the equation, see this one right here is in function notation. This next one that I'll be doing is just an equation, but at least it makes it easy to see that there's a reflection right there. And this third one that we'll be doing, it kind of has everything in a confusing way. It has a negative x plus 2. You don't have that negative pulled outside the parentheses. So we're going to go over how to deal with each of these, starting with the first one. So choose the correct transformation of reflections. Well, I see a vertical reflection right here. Vertical reflect. This is just not working right here. I'll just talk you through it. I see a vertical reflection, okay? And I see a horizontal reflection right there. Okay, so that's what you look for, just the presence of a negative sign. Don't worry about all the other stuff when you're looking at reflections. Stretches and compressions. Well, what's the number out front here? It's -1, right? And the number 1 times f means there is no stretch, no vertical stretch. We're not talking about horizontal stretches and compressions. If those existed, they would be in here, but we're just not getting into that until we dive into trigonometry. Now choose the correct transformation as a vertical shift. Well, vertical shift is the easiest one. Vertical shift 3 down, right? And if you look inside the parentheses, you can see what the horizontal shift is. It's +6, so that means, well, what's +6? That's to the left, right? It's always this backwards thing. So we have a horizontal shift, 6 left. Okay, so that's using function notation. In an equation form, it's really not that much more difficult. We just don't have the f of the function sitting there. So we're going to say, what kind of reflections do we have? Well, I see 2 negative signs. So that means vertical and horizontal reflections. There's 2 of them. And what's the correct transformation in terms of stretches, compressions? Well, because that's a -2 right there, don't worry about the negative, but that is a 2 times something. So that is a vertical stretch by 2. If that number were less than 2, like 1/2 or 1/3, it would be a compression by 1/2 or 1/3. Now we choose the correct transformation, vertical shift. Vertical shifts are easy, right? They're just that number at the end. Vertical shift down by 2. And last bit is the horizontal shift. Well, you look inside this innermost parentheses, okay, and that looks like a shift to the right because it's -5. Horizontal shift right by 5. Okay, let's move it on down. And this is the one where it makes it more complicated by not separating out that negative from the transformation, or from the shift, I mean. And we can get into how you should think about these things conceptually, which is that when you do a reflection, you are not only reflecting x, but you're reflecting any horizontal shifts as well. And the equation way of saying what I just said in words is this. Factor out that negative sign. Rewrite this as 2/3 square root negative. Factor out the negative, so we have x minus 2 in parentheses. And then you have that -1 on the outside. What I just did was I showed with an equation that this reflection is hitting both x and the horizontal shift. Okay, the reflection happens on both. So now we can just go through this exactly as before. Okay, I only have one reflection, horizontal reflection only. And when it comes to stretches and compressions, this one is a vertical compression. The other 2 were stretches, but this is a compression. Because if you look at the factor in front, that is a 2/3. So we say by 2/3. 2/3 is less than 1, so it's a compression. Then we choose, we have that vertical shift down by 1. and the horizontal shift is still inside that parentheses. Horizontal shift. And because that's a negative, this is right. So horizontal shift right by 2. And here's the tricky part about these things. If you look back at that original equation, you say, wait a minute, but it's plus 2. I think plus 2 goes to the left. Well, when you have a reflection, it turns everything backwards, again, as if x wasn't backwards enough already. So be sure to factor out that negative sign.